ESPN spent years hyping Conor McGregor as the ultimate rags-to-riches story. What they didn't tell you? Their golden boy allegedly turned into a real-life GTA character. April 2018, McGregor flies to Brooklyn and launches a metal dolly through a bus window like he's auditioning for Fast and Furious. Glass everywhere, fighters injured, millions in damages. 3 assault charges because, apparently I'm rich and famous, isn't a valid defense for property destruction. March 2019. Fan tries to take a selfie in Miami. McGregor allegedly destroys their phone and walks away with the pieces like some kind of deranged tech repair service. Charges filed, lawyers called, problem disappeared faster than his last title shot. Then came the Dublin pub incident that broke the internet. Security footage shows McGregor offering free drinks to everyone. One elderly man politely declines his whiskey. McGregor's response? Allegedly sucker-punching a senior citizen who just wanted to finish his pint in peace. The man barely flinched, which somehow made it 10 times worse. But here's the story ESPN will never touch: the November 2024 civil case in Ireland that ended with a jury handing McGregor the biggest L of his career. We're talking damages so massive his legal team is probably working around the clock just to count the zeros. The man who called himself the king of everything now spends more time in courtrooms than the octagon. His lawyers are playing defense in more countries than he has championship belts. ESPN sold you the Disney version. The reality? Their Irish hero's notorious nickname hits different when it's about allegedly assaulting elderly people over whiskey instead of knocking out Jose Aldo. Jon Jones hit and run. Case. April 26, 2015. According to police reports, a pregnant woman was driving through Albuquerque when a rented SUV ran a red light and collided with her car. The impact allegedly broke her arm and endangered her unborn child. The driver? Jon Jones, the UFC light heavyweight champion, who reportedly fled the scene on foot after grabbing a bag of cash from the vehicle. But here's where it gets concerning. Witnesses reportedly say Jones actually came back to the crash site, not to check on the victim, but allegedly to grab more items from his car before leaving again. Police found substances in the vehicle that Jones later admitted were his. According to court documents, the pregnant victim suffered a broken arm and went into premature labor. Thankfully, the baby survived, but the trauma was significant. Jones initially faced felony charges that could have resulted in years in prison. He eventually pleaded guilty to leaving the scene and received 18 months supervised probation. The UFC stripped his title and suspended him indefinitely. But according to reports, the real tragedy wasn't Jones losing his belt. It was a mother and unborn child who almost lost everything because a champion allegedly couldn't face consequences. The victim never spoke publicly, but court documents reveal the lasting impact on her life. War Machine's assault case. According to court documents, nothing Netflix could ever produce would be darker than what reportedly went down on August 8, 2014. Former UFC fighter Jonathan Koppenhaver, known as War Machine, allegedly broke into his ex-girlfriend Christy Mack's Las Vegas home. What happened next was reportedly a serious assault that lasted hours. According to medical records, Mack suffered severe injuries, including multiple facial fractures, dental damage, and internal injuries. She was reportedly injured so badly, she was unrecognizable. The details from the trial were concerning. War Machine allegedly used multiple methods during the attack. He also reportedly went after Mack's friend Corey Thomas, who was present. After the alleged assault, War Machine went on the run for a week before getting caught in California. During trial, prosecutors revealed a reported pattern of controlling behavior that had allegedly been escalating. Text messages showed threats against Mack and her friends. The jury heard about previous alleged incidents of intimidation. In March 2017, War Machine received life in prison with parole possible. After 36 years, the judge called his actions serious criminal behavior and said Mack would live with the consequences forever. She's become an advocate for domestic violence survivors. But that night reportedly changed everything. Anthony Johnson, financial crimes. While fans knew Anthony "Rumble" Johnson for his knockout power, according to court documents, federal investigators knew him for something way more concerning: In 2022, court documents revealed Johnson had reportedly been under investigation for alleged involvement in a cryptocurrency fraud scheme. According to federal prosecutors, Johnson and associates allegedly defrauded investors out of over $5 million through a reportedly fake cryptocurrency called Rumblecoin. The scheme allegedly promised revolutionary blockchain technology and guaranteed returns, but it was reportedly fabricated. Johnson allegedly used his UFC fame to legitimize the operation, appearing in promotional videos and meeting investors at restaurants. When people tried to withdraw their money, they reportedly discovered the platform was fake and their funds were gone. The investigation allegedly showed Johnson had moved millions to offshore accounts and bought luxury items with the money. Most concerning, he allegedly targeted elderly investors and military veterans, specifically going after people who trusted his reputation. Johnson passed away in November 2022 from organ failure, but the investigation reportedly continued. His estate faced multiple lawsuits from victims trying to recover their money. Federal prosecutors were preparing criminal charges before his death. The victims, many who reportedly lost life savings, are still fighting for justice. Thiago Silva, kidnapping charges February 6, 2014. According to court documents, UFC light heavyweight Thiago Silva was arrested on serious charges: attempted murder, kidnapping, and aggravated assault with a firearm. But the reality was reportedly way more concerning than any movie. Silva allegedly threatened his estranged wife, Thesa, and her boyfriend at a martial arts academy in Florida. According to police reports, Silva allegedly showed up armed and demanded his wife come with him. When she refused, he allegedly threatened to harm everyone there. Witnesses reportedly said Silva was in an agitated state, making threats and displaying a weapon. The incident reportedly lasted over an hour, with Silva allegedly not letting people leave the building. What made it more concerning? Children were reportedly there during the whole thing, hiding in back rooms, while adults tried to calm him down. Silva eventually left without physically harming anyone, but police issued a warrant immediately. They found him at home and arrested him without incident. The charges were dropped when his wife refused to testify, but the UFC had already released him. Court documents revealed a reported history of domestic disputes and restraining orders. Silva went back to fighting in smaller organizations, but his reputation was damaged. Matt Hughes train accident cover-up allegations, June 16, 2017. According to reports, UFC Hall of Famer Matt Hughes was found unconscious near railroad tracks in Illinois after what was initially called an accident with a moving train. But investigators reportedly discovered concerning details suggesting this wasn't just an accident. Court documents revealed Hughes had allegedly been struggling with serious personal issues, including domestic violence allegations and financial problems. Family members later reportedly said Hughes had been acting unusually in the weeks before, making concerning statements about his future. Most troubling were allegations that came out during his divorce proceedings. According to court filings, Hughes' wife claimed he'd allegedly been abusive for years, and the train incident wasn't accidental. Text messages in court allegedly showed Hughes making threatening statements toward family just days before. Emergency responders reportedly noted Hughes' positioning when found didn't match being hit by a train, raising questions about what really happened. The brain injury Hughes suffered allegedly affected his memory, making it impossible to get a clear story. While Hughes survived and partially recovered, the incident reportedly exposed concerning behavior that had been hidden. His family later revealed alleged years of problematic behavior that painted a disturbing picture of the UFC legend. Abel Trujillo drug trafficking network. According to court documents, while Netflix focused on athletic achievements, they missed one of the most extensive criminal operations ever connected to the UFC. In 2019, federal agents arrested former UFC fighter Abel Trujillo as part of a reportedly massive drug trafficking investigation spanning multiple states. According to the DEA, Trujillo allegedly wasn't just using, he was reportedly running a sophisticated distribution network, moving significant amounts of illegal substances. Court documents revealed Trujillo had allegedly been under surveillance for over 2 years as part of Operation Haymaker, targeting drug trafficking in combat sports. Wiretaps allegedly caught Trujillo coordinating shipments and discussing territory with other dealers. The investigation reportedly showed Trujillo allegedly used his gym and fighting connections to recruit other fighters and trainers. Federal prosecutors said he allegedly targeted young fighters struggling financially, offering money to transport substances between states. Most concerning, Trujillo allegedly used youth wrestling programs as cover, putting children and amateur athletes at risk. When agents raided his properties, they reportedly found large quantities of substances, firearms, and over $200,000 cash. Trujillo pleaded guilty to conspiracy charges and received 8 years federal prison. Several other fighters and coaches also got arrested, showing how deep the network had allegedly gone into MMA. Josh Grisby, animal cruelty case. According to court documents, the details from former UFC featherweight Josh Grisby's arrest were concerning enough to shock seasoned law enforcement. In 2014, Grisby was charged with multiple counts of animal cruelty after police reportedly discovered concerning conditions at his Massachusetts home. According to court documents, investigators found evidence Grisby had allegedly been systematically harming animals for months. The charges included killing a puppy in front of his children and allegedly forcing his wife to participate. Police reports described finding animal remains buried throughout the property, with evidence of prolonged suffering. Most concerning? Testimony that Grisby allegedly used animal harm to control and intimidate his family, threatening their pets if they didn't comply. The investigation revealed neighbors had reportedly been reporting strange sounds and smells for months, but authorities couldn't access the home without a warrant. When they finally obtained one, the scene was described as one of the most serious animal cruelty cases officers had encountered. According to court testimony, Grisby's wife later said the behavior escalated over time, starting with neglect and progressing to deliberate harm. She described living in constant fear, not just for herself and children, but for pets who became victims of Grisby's alleged behavior. The case resulted in multiple felony convictions and prison time, but the trauma was irreversible. Phil Baroni mental health crisis. According to reports, the tragic story of former UFC fighter Phil Baroni took a concerning turn in October 2022 when he was arrested in Mexico in connection with his girlfriend's death. According to Mexican authorities, Baroni claims she died after he found her with another man and allegedly struck her once. But the details reportedly painted a way more disturbing picture. Police reports allegedly showed the victim had severe trauma, consistent with multiple strikes, not a single hit like Baroni claimed. Witnesses at the hotel reportedly heard concerning sounds for an extended period. Most troubling? Baroni's reported behavior after he allegedly waited hours before calling help and initially tried claiming she overdosed. Text messages on the victim's phone reportedly revealed she'd been trying to end their relationship and expressed concern about Baroni's increasingly erratic behavior. Friends and family later reportedly said Baroni had been struggling with severe mental health issues and substance abuse for years. His social media posts before the incident allegedly showed concerning patterns of behavior. Former training partners reportedly revealed Baroni had been discussing conspiracy theories and expressing concerning thoughts. The case highlighted serious, untreated mental health problems in former fighters and tragic consequences when help isn't available.